You are watching a master at work.
Hi guys, welcome to the Lupe Experience. So good to get back to you guys with a vlog entry. This is a fun entry for you guys. It's going to be the fragrance reviewers tag here on YouTube. And the idea is, we're going to go through a series of questions and we're going to, get to know each other better. At the end of this video, I will tag another reviewer and they will carry on, and hopefully this can really spread through the community and we can get to know each other better. So without further ado, let me get into my scent of the day, which is none other than Aqua Viva by Perfume Roma. It's a little decant that I'm working with right here. I am soon to purchase either a bottle or travel atomizers. I love travel atomizers. So, question number one. What are your earliest fragrance memories? My earliest fragrance memories, I can't really pinpoint it, but I can remember my mother wearing Anais by Cacharel. That's a really powdery, floral, white floral with a lot of tuberose. She's a child of the 70s. That was her heyday, and in the 70s, white florals were really popular. So I have an affinity for white florals. Anais by Cacharel is actually my first fragrance memory. On my father's side of my uncles, I remember Paco Rabanne's XS. Classic. I remember Green Irish Tweed. I don't remember what it smelled like, but I remember it existed. Hugo Boss, the original fragrance. That's one of the first, masculine smells that I always, remember my dad sprayed on before he went out, and so that really ingrained that sort of perfume culture into my life, knowing that it's a final touch, one of the final touches that a gentleman must apply before going out and presenting himself to the world. Next question. First fragrance purchase. Okay, I can't remember the exact fragrance that I first purchased, but I am thinking, I'm remembering either Versace blue jeans or Givenchy's a Givenchy fragrance. I think it was like the original in the red bottle, or also Givenchy's Play Fast Forward Rewind series. I had one of those. Those are the earliest memories I have of actually, purchasing a fragrance with my own money for my own self. My first luxury fragrance, limited distribution, niche perfume fragrance purchase was Original Santal by Creed. This is, about 3-4 years ago, and I still have that fragrance in my collection. Sentimental value. My first blind buy. Now, what is blind buying? It's, buying a fragrance, usually online, without having smelt it, tested it. So basically going off someone's referral and just going straight ahead and just purchasing the fragrance. You don't know what it's going to smell like. You're going to get it in the mail. You might love it. You might not. And my first one was La Nuit de l'Homme. Really interesting because this is not a fragrance that's very hard to find. It was everywhere around me in department stores. But for some funny reason, I still ended up blind buying it. Came highly recommended. And Hero and JR, they had this La Nuit versus Dior Intense beef going on. Those are like two popular reviewers. And it came highly recommended by some YouTube reviewers and people in the fragrance community who really knew their stuff. And it was a successful blind buy. I liked it, and it had a really great run in my collection. Next question. What was your best blind buy? My best blind buy. Now we're talking about, blind buying the fragrance, and the success rate is super high. Atelier Colo's Orange Sanguine. Without a doubt, the best blind buy I ever made. This is a staple in my Perfect 30 collection of fragrances. One of the best fragrances that you're going to get your hand on. And it is incredible in the bang for buck category. Probably the best value for the dollar that you're going to get in any fragrance. Okay. Next question. What was your worst blind buy? Okay, now this was a semi-blind buy because I had smelt this fragrance in passing. I was in London with Raj from the UK, one of my boys out here in Bradcom, and we were smelling things. And you have those days where you smell so many fragrances that you just have a faint memory of something, not really a concrete olfactive memory to build a decision on. And I smelled Amber Mediterranean by Profumi del Forte. That's the house. And it smelled like the sort of amber that I like. And so when I was looking to buy some things for cold season, I was thinking, okay, I need to add to my collection of amber-based fragrances. I purchased Amber Mediterranean. Um, it was okay, but it pales in comparison to Amber Absolute, which I have in my collection, and so that was a huge disappointment. I would never reach for Amber Mediterranean when I have Amber Absolute. It just doesn't make sense. I always try to wear the best thing possible. So what I ended up doing was keeping a little decant for reference, and I ended up selling the bottle at a loss. Don't blind buy. I do not encourage it. I've not had too much success blind buying, to be sincere, and it's something that I never engage in. Don't do it. Okay. Next question. What are your favorite fragrance notes? I will keep this short, limited to 3. My favorite fragrance notes to smell on myself are leather, honey, and coconut. It's that simple. Anything that has any of these notes, and the notes is featured prominently, and it's done to a high standard, I'm gonna love it. It's automatic. Now I might not purchase it, but I'm gonna love it. Leather is the most sophisticated scent in my opinion. Very exotic, very unique. Really comes off very serious. Formal, sophisticated, glamour, and it has an undertone of sensuality and sexuality to it. Leather is a primal fabric. Brings undertones of S&M and bondage, to mind. Honey, obviously, very sweet, very animalic, almost skanky, almost like some sort of highly sexualized sweet smell. Features in many of my favorite fragrances, like Amber Absolute, like Absolute Pour de Soie by Maison Francis Kurkdjian, like my favorite of all time, Back to Black by Killian. So when amber is done well, I'm a sucker. I mean, when honey is done well, I'm a sucker for honey in fragrances. And coconut. Coconut. The smell of coconut is like an aphrodisiac to me. It's an instant turn on. I don't know what it is. It's just got that combination of pleasant smells that just does it for me. So those 3 notes. Now, my favorite note to smell on a female has to be jasmine. It's kind of cliched. This is not some sort of exotic notes, but it's jasmine. My favorite fragrance to smell on a lady, Jasmin Rouge by Killian. Definitely love. Jasmin Rouge by Tom Ford. Love by Killian. I also like Tuberose when it's done well. Carnal Flower by Frederick Malle. Beyond Love by Killian. So fragrances like that. My favorite fragrance house. It's like a 3-way tie, but to be sincere, it is a Tom Ford Private Blends collection. I mean, this house is absolutely phenomenal. It's no secrets. It's not an under the radar house or something hitting you out of left field. But I think people don't really understand how much the house of Tom Ford means to perfumery in general. Tom Ford really did the fragrance industry a huge service by glamorizing and reigniting fragrance, actual perfumery. I think we went through a stage where perfume was made for people who actually don't like perfume, and Tom Ford brought back actual real perfumery, real heady, dense, intense, exotic smells with a lot of throw, a lot of drama. Every single one of these scents always has this sort of sexual undertone to it, always very glamorous, very distinctive, very standout. It's dare to be noticed perfumery. It's not all this light, airy, sort of not perfumes. So the Tom Ford Private Blends collection in particular is my favorite fragrance, favorite fragrance collection by Killian and Serge also gets honorable mention because they do stellar work, presentation, real dense, high performing fragrances with real character, real distinctive smells. So there is that question done. Next up, what fragrance best describes you? I think Tuscan Leather by Tom Ford. That is like me in a bottle. If you squashed me up, distilled me, and squashed me into a bottle, and you spray it out, it'll be Tuscan Leather. It's very very masculine. It's unashamedly masculine, unabashedly masculine. Very distinctive. I love things that are unique, but at the same time, it's pleasant. So it's not a crazy type of exotic smell. It's a very pleasant, unique smell, very sophisticated. I really place a lot of prominence on, being a gentleman, being very cultured, being sophisticated, being more complex, being trying to be better than average, really presenting yourself in a way that would make the people around you, be pleased and feel like you respect them. And I feel like Tuscan Leather definitely does that. So Tuscan Leather best describes me for several reasons. My favorite fragrance of all time is Back to Black by Killian. Simple. I smelled this fragrance about 2.5 years ago, and I've had so many fragrances, and I've gone on to smell so many fragrances and new, amazing, incredible things that I get to smell every single day as I keep on working at being a fragrance reviewer and going through my fragrance journey, and nothing overtakes it. It is absolutely incredible. That's my favorite fragrance of all time. What describes your fragrance profile? So what's your fragrance profile? What sort of smells do you like? I'm not a very hard person to please, to be sincere. I just have a few caveats. One, I actually like scents that are quite simple. I have a minimalist but maximum approach to life in general. I like things that appear to be simple, and someone might smell something like Zerjust and say, "Oh, this is just lime. That's it." It appears that way, but when you look under the hood, there is a lot of hidden complexity and depth, and it is high impact. So I like minimalist things that have maximum impact. I like things that are unique. So if something is worn by a lot of people, especially around where I am, it immediately eliminates it from something that I would like to associate myself with, because I do pride myself in being a unique individual, and I place a lot of prominence on people being themselves and not trying to be like everyone else. It's, to me, it's a beautiful thing. You shouldn't be like a clothing item in an assembly line that you just pick something off the rack. You should be uniquely you. That's the reason why, I don't wear Aventus anymore. I've actually sold my bottle of Aventus. Great fragrance, but it's too popular for me. And also I like unique smells. So something that would sort of intrigue people, like, wow, I've not smelled that before, and would be a conversation starter and really add a touch of mystery to your aura. So that is that. And my the last tag question is, what is your fragrant resolution going forward? And it's simple: to continue working on my Perfect 30 collection. I talk about this all the time. I have hundreds of decants and samples, so I have access to a wide catalog of fragrances. But in terms of full bottles, I only have about 30. It's about 32 or 33 right now, and each one of them is a perfect fragrance for me in my collection, for my purposes, for my occasions in which I need to smell amazing, and in light of other fragrances in the industry and my taste, they are 10 out of 10s. My collection, I believe, stands up to any collection. It's a all killer, no filler type of collection. I'm the sort of person who feels, like, why should I wear a fragrance that I don't like as much when I have a fragrance that I really love sitting right there? So I don't invest in a lot of full bottles. I do invest in a lot of decants and samples. As you can see, I have one that I'm wearing for the day. But in order for a fragrance to make it to a full bottle for me, it's got to be pretty darn special. So when you see me with a full bottle, I recommend something that's Perfect 30. You can take that as something really serious. And I just, want to continue to grow my nose. And make sure I put out videos as much as I possibly can, even though I am time poor. And just continue to go on this fragrance journey and share it and enjoy it with you. I love you guys. It was wonderful to put in a vlog entry for y'all, and I will see you soon. Smell well, Fragcom. And so the next person who I'm going to pass the baton to, and I'm going to tag two people. I'm tagging Raj, aka Raj from the UK. That's my boy. And obviously Max. Max must know. Real cool dude. I mean, this dude is pure entertainment. If you're not subscribed to his channel, please subscribe now. That's my dude. So Max and Raj, the ball's in your court.